Let me check with the master.
You know they gonna show them.
We can have Jordan picks him up on his way back.
Okay, yeah.
They love coming on the Sabbath.
Yeah.
They love showing up on the Sabbath. Please, all them. You know, they gonna definitely be here tomorrow.
You know, I should start inundating them for everything. Hey, I want to take a shit. Is it okay? I leave all these messages. I said, I try to get your permission.
I will show have his ass out there.
All right, looks like we're live.
Yep.
Are we ready?
Yes, sir.
Great job.
All right. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Dowell. I am up here in Green Bay, Wisconsin, Straitway Praise Land, where Brother Kabir is the head of the community up here. Another one of those Straitway communities. We also are joined here by Elder Mitchell, head of the community Straitway Kentucky East, and Elder Rufus, head of Straitway Georgia. The communities down there, and of course myself, Straitway Tennessee, and we're joined with the brethren back here from Georgia and Texas as well. Well, we're on here live today, and we're going to just give it here just for a little time, just for a second, before we start going into different subjects and topics. And I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to call names. There won't be any room for innuendos. We are going to talk about this. This environmental cancer that we have going on amongst Israel, and to get everybody to know our position and perspective on things and the reason why we do things and say things, because there's simply a lot of toxic ways and doctrines that's trying to be pushed off as if they actually really truly originate with the scriptures. And with that said, who's going to do the Bible? You going to do the Bible?
Yes, sir.
Let's go to Jeremiah. Let's start with Jeremiah 17 verse 4. Jeremiah 17 verse 4. And David, from time to time, if you don't mind, you can let us know who's in the chat room or whoever wants to actually make a comment, or if there's a legitimate question. You know what I mean?
Yes, Pastor.
And then as well, let us know, give us a count of how many people are in there.
Right now we're at 95.
95, okay, so it'll get on up there a little bit. Well, we greet you all. We thank each and every one of you for being here. It's cold up here in Wisconsin. Ain't no doubt about it.
Yes.
All of us in here from the South. It is cold up here.
Not that bad.
It ain't that bad. Kabir said it ain't that bad.
When you stay indoors, it's not that bad.
Well, when you stay indoors, yeah, it ain't that bad. Okay, now the prophet Jeremiah, what is commonly called in the Hebrew vernacular, he spoke to our people about a particular condition, the way that we would end up doing. And that's all been but true. And where we at right now is the opposite of what Jeremiah said. But this has happened. Read, Elder Mitch.
And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee. Mm-hmm. And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever.
What Israel needs to understand and comprehend is that every single thing that we see prescribed and laid out in the laws and the statutes and the commandments of the Most High Yah, all these curses, all this scattering and this dysphoria, it's all our fault. Most people are not telling you that. They want to blame it on every other nation out there in the world when the Most High Yah has used the nations as his whooping post against a stubborn, a stiff-necked, and a disobedient people. That's us, Israel. Yes. So we are in this condition because we decide to rebel against the Most High Yah. And so therefore we have discontinued from our heritage. Now, mind you, the Most High Yah also put limits, and he also put stipulations on the nations to not go as far as they did concerning the punishment of us as a people, and they went well past it. And so the Most High Yah has a day of vengeance set aside. But what we're going to speak about here just briefly for a moment is about us not knowing who we are as a people. I mean, we are now restoring the things that have been lost. And of course, the only way that we can restore any of that is we have to go back to the blueprint. We have to go back to what has already been written. We can't go off of people's personal doctrines that they may gender themselves to salvation because it's something that they're doing. We have to stick with the law and the prophets, just like the Messiah said. And there's nothing new under the sun. So if we're going to know the way that we're supposed to be as a people, how we're supposed to function, how we're supposed to carry ourselves, how we're supposed to be as a people when we're in the land of our captors, especially scattered in diaspora, we're going to have to go back to the instructions, the rules, and the guidelines which teach us our heritage. And we can't add to, and nor can we take away from it. That's what the book says. But there's one more other scripture that I want to go over here real quick from the prophet Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 3, verse 12. Elder, will you please get that and read that? Because this is also going to tell us a cancerous condition that we're in as a people that we need to truly really realize. And hopefully this gives an opportunity for people to be able to listen. And you can ask questions in here while we're here today as we go on, because we're going to talk about some hot topics. We're going to talk about what's going on in this month of November. It seemed like Straitway Bash Pastor Dowell month for some reason, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, the freaks are coming out, but that's okay. Excuse me. Isaiah chapter 3, verse 12, Elder.
As for my people,
As for Yah's people,
children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, which lead thee, cause thee to err.
so children are oppressors, and one of the systemic problems is that women are constantly ruling over us, and then the people who fancy themselves, who call themselves leaders, they're causing you to err. They're causing you to err, to deter, to go way backwards, to follow not after the scripture, but after some nefarious idea, some concoction that they have done brewed up in their mind, and some foreign doctrine that is contrary to what the laws and the statutes and the commandments and the rules and the guidelines of Yah says. So what we're going to do here is we're literally going to stick to the book. We're going to literally stick to the book. So we're here today in November of what they call 2019. And there's a lot going on out there in social media. There's a lot going on because the exposure of the ministry is getting bigger, and as it gets bigger, just like I said, Elder, I got back in country and found out I had 2 more new enemies that didn't even know about. So, I mean, most of y'all have been with me for quite a while, and Elder Rufus, speak to what you have saw and learned over the years, especially the attack. And let's go back all the way from to Bishop Mulberry to R.G. Stair up until this point right now, what you personally have seen as far as all these people pointing fingers and bringing accusations and making guilt by associations, but not paying attention to footprints and footsteps.
Yeah, what we see is people, you just said it, they want to tie you to people like R.G. Stair. Now, they never tie you to Bishop Mulberry. I ain't heard not one person ever say anything about no affiliation with Bishop Mulberry. That's the man in the whole ministry that anointed you as a pastor.
Yes, sir.
You see what I'm saying? But no one brings that part up. They bring up Stair because Stair was caught in his wickedness. Okay? And because you were associated with this man, I think I talked to you about it earlier today, you ain't literally seen this man since 99,
2000, yes, sir.
So you're talking 20 years, you ain't even physically seen him, but they want to tie you to his sin. And the reason they do that is because they know they don't have a leg to stand on when it comes to debating or arguing against the doctrine that we live by, which is this book. They can't do that. So the distraction technique comes into play. And let's get people caught up in their feelings, caught up in their emotions, because the type of sins that Stair, and it's all public knowledge, so I'm not like talking about the man, the kind of sins that was out there about him publicly, you know, those are you can't forgive those sins when you're taking advantage of children and doing all the raping and, you know, all the stuff they accused him of. So if they can tie you into that, they can get people to look at you from those glasses instead of spiritual.
Okay, now we had some buffering issues there because it's not that Kabir doesn't have a pristine Ferrari type of Maserati type of system over here. He's got a very good system, but when you have, you know, close to 100 Israelites here and everybody's pulling from the same feed with their phones, we've had to make some adjustments here, take down the video camera quality there a little bit, and also tell everybody to get off for Wi-Fi so that we can make sure that we get this particular signal going. Now, I don't know if Brother David may be able to piece it together in one interview a little bit later to get the first half and then put it on here, but we had already quoted Jeremiah 17 verse 4, where we're talking about we discontinued from our heritage. which y'all's already given us. And then we also went to Isaiah chapter 3, verse 12, where it says, as for my people, children are their oppressors and women rule over them. And then the big part right here, there are leaders out there, the people who lead you, they cause you to err. So we addressed them. That's just a short recap. And then we went off into going over some of the history. Now, first of all, let me go ahead and make this a disclaimer right here. Number one, I don't give a damn about what anybody says or think about Pastor Dowell, because if I did, I wouldn't have any hair on my head. Are you following me? I damn sure wouldn't be strong enough to do any ministry, if you follow me, if I cared about what people think. Are you following me? I really, truly don't. Because number one, I'm going to say what Paul said, you added nothing to me. Now, if all you got is a bunch of accusations, point finger, heartache, and pain, that's totally up to you. But those who have the ears to hear, I guarantee you one thing, it's not only a life changer, it's a game changer throughout your whole entire life. So I'm not here trying to put out any fires. I'm not here trying to appease anyone. It is what it is. You can pick and choose to believe whatever you want to believe. It makes no difference to me, because it still is not going to stop the ministry, what the Most High Yah has already ordained on this earth. It's not going to stop us from doing what we're doing. You can see it month after month, year after year, feast day after feast day, every single time to set apart times. I mean, we just got finished building a new tabernacle, and we're still working on it. And my God, you seen how much room there was it took up for all the people in there? Mm-hmm. Wow. I mean, this is Yah's doing, and it's marvelous in our eyes. We are his servants, all of us. We differ nothing from servant. But anyway, we're going to talk about a little bit about the history of Straitway there, a little bit, some of the accusations that is old out there. Elder Rufus was doing a good job explaining everything that's going on. I'm also going to talk about this little sorry, wicked, lying, or what do you call him? A satanic imp of a devil, Eric Gonzalez, too. We're going to address that situation, too. We're going to address a lot of this, and we're also going to address some of the lies and some of the things that are out there, these false accusers, as well as we're going to talk about Thomas Murray and Gina Murray being out of pocket as a woman, making all type of innuendos and accusations there on her particular Facebook. And before we go on, Elder, isn't it amazing how that what happens is that people, they one way or the other, they try to use Straitway as a mean or a form to try to get on the map. They try to use it as a platform to advance their particular platform. Mm-hmm. And then once they get out there and stuff, next thing you know, their agenda is already exposed. Mm-hmm. Then they want to so-called expose us. Now, it ain't really too hard to expose us, because everything we do, we're an open book, easy to read of all men. What you see is what you get. It is what it is. That's all there's to it. But I'll tell you what, let's don't digress here. Elder, we was already somewhat in there. If you go ahead and recap a little bit for the listening audience out there. I think you was on the RG situation, RG step. But before that, go back to the Bishop Mulberry situation and continue on, please.
Yes, sir. I was talking about how with all these false accusations that come, people try to tie you to another man's sin, which is RG Stair's sin. But they never tie you to Bishop Mulberry. The man that actually anointed you as a pastor, oversaw you and saw your development in this thing. So, and I think it's sad because people realize that because they're not spiritual, they have to draw you away in a specific kind of way. Because they can't argue, I was saying it earlier, you can't argue the doctrine that you live by and the ministry lives by. So what they do is they do this deflection and distraction thing where let's look at these unforgivable sins that somebody's doing, tie you to that, and get people's feelings and emotions all tied up into that stuff instead of looking at facts. But like I was saying, I told all the new people coming, ignore that stuff, because when you watch it, what's going to take place is those that have the spirit of truth, they're going to analyze it, they're going to go back and research it, they're going to look at Pastor Dowell closer, the ministry closer, and they're going to realize, wow, that ain't him. That's just stuff people saying about another man. He ain't done that stuff. And let's look at what he has done. The fruit is undeniable. I mean, when we have 9, 10, 11 almost communities that are functioning, running, debt-free, all of them, you see what I'm saying? You can't deny that fruit. When you got hundreds of thousands of people that are connected to the ministry, where their lives have been changed forever, when that ministry is totally international. I mean, when you look at our family picture, I mean, every nation under the sun is represented in that. When people come and they actually see this, they like, wow. Those that got the spirit of truth, they look at that and say, man, that's what I see when I'm actually reading this Bible. That's what I see when I hear of the multitude that came out, the mixed multitude. When I see the oneness of mind and everybody giving all. You know, it's really one big pot now. Kabir has a pot here he has to manage. Elder Mitchell has a pot in Kentucky. Sorry about that. He has to manage. I got a pot in Georgia. I got to manage. Pastor Dowell, you got a pot in Tennessee. You got to manage. But it's really all one pot. It's all one pot because we have all things common is what we have. And when people have the spirit of truth, they see that. But what these liars and these deceivers try to do, because they're being exposed through the righteousness of this ministry, that's what's exposing them, really. It ain't necessarily, you getting on here and calling names and all that kind of stuff. When people start comparing and people start associating, they say, okay, well, yeah, you saying this, but Pastor Dowell is doing this, and you're saying this, and I see Straitway doing this. Well, why you ain't? And this is where it all comes from. And then you got that underlying envy and that underlying jealousy that comes in. So a ministry that's been around for nearly 3 decades, that's what Straitway is. Now, when I say been around, I'm not talking about playing church for 3 decades.
Right.
I'm talking about actually living set apart, holy, righteous unto Yah. How you gonna deny that? How you gonna deny it? And you can't deny it. So this is what happens with people all the time. And these
so
people,
all this guilt by association, just because R.G. Stair did that doesn't mean that I've done it.
absolutely
And you
not.
understand what I mean?
Absolutely not. You haven't done it. And again, if you were, they'd have had you in this system, and for the effectiveness that you have, they would love to throw you under the jail, Pastor, and never let you out. Let's just look at R.G. Stair. Every single time that man did something, they were on top of him.
That's right.
Tearing that community up, raiding that community. How come they ain't raiding Straitway?
That's right.
They don't even show up at the gate. Here it is, we have a meeting, and we got 700 folk there, and 500 of them loaded with weapons. Ain't nobody showing up at the gate at Straitway. See, when you're living holy and you're living righteous, you'll honor man's law as long as it don't interfere with the laws of Yah.
That's right.
I don't have any problem doing that. And the people, when they come, like I was telling the new saints, don't worry about it. All it's going to do is add to what Yah's doing. We grow every time these people come out and want to make their YouTube videos and their Facebook videos, and all of them are cowards too. That's the thing that really perturbs me, because you brought out the name Thomas Murray and Gina Murray. The thing I've been seeing with her lately, it's all innuendos, and everything I'm saying on her page to her is, just say who you're talking about. Quit hiding behind these innuendos. Say who you're talking about. I call it slick hate. Quit slick hate. Just say you're talking about Pastor Dowell. Just say you're talking about Straitway. We do.
Yeah,
if we got an issue with you, we'll just get on the video and tell everybody, I don't like what she is doing or what he is doing, and this is why.
And it ain't nothing personal.
It ain't.
It's just the flat out truth.
Man, when you fleecing the sheep and fleecing the flock of the Most High Yah, we're going to stand against that, flat out. We're going to stand against it. It's not going to stop the ministry from doing what it's doing. We're going to keep pressing forward. But once it gets in our lane, we're going to deal with it. It's like I'm going to swerve. I'm driving, and there's something in the middle of the lane. Am I going to swerve and go in the ditch, or I'm going to deal with what's in the lane? I'm going to get out and I'm going to deal with what's in the lane, and when I'm done dealing with it, I'm going to keep moving forward. That's what you do. And it's just frustrating sometimes because, a man of your character, the character that the ministry as a whole has when it comes to changing people's lives, depositing it into people, setting up people to just be brilliant in Yah, to get attacked the way we do, is you got to be doing something right. You just have to be doing something right. But when you see people give all like you've given, your whole entire adult life has been dedicated to serving the saints. Let's ignore that because he's tied to R.G. Stair.
Wrong.
Let's ignore that because one time back in 1972, he called R.G. Stair a prophet. Okay, he did. Everybody called him prophet back then. Until he got out here and started not acting like a damn prophet. Okay, people evolve, people change. They should be growing. But at the end of the day, look at the footwork, look at the footprints, and look at the fruit. And that's why I told the people, don't worry about this stuff. This stuff comes, but they always there. It's gonna be there till Jesus come back. It's always gonna be there. Keep looking at the fruit, and that's how you get blessed.
It's there actually to be a distraction because you have to have, they rose up false witnesses against the Messiah. And then they also rose up false witnesses to lie against Paul.
Yep.
They actually stirred up the people. The whole idea was to stir up the people.
That's good.
To get them to look at Paul sideways and stuff so that they wouldn't hear him because what they were producing and what they were saying wasn't effective as what Paul was doing because he had the anointing from the Most High that backed him up. So raising up false witnesses and people who slander is nothing new in Israel. That's nothing new under the sun. So, Elder Mitch, you know, you've been around for a while, and I'm sure you've seen this Dog and Pony show 1,000 times over. Coming out the tail end of what Elder Rufus just said, speaking exactly from what you know from the time I met you there in Texas.
Yeah. So, I mean, everything that I'm not as abreast on these people on Facebook and social media and the things that they say and what they do, but what I have noticed is a lot of jealousy and a lot of envy coming towards the ministry, coming towards specifically you and what he's been able to do. People don't like the fact that they don't want nobody to follow Pastor Dowell. They want to do what they call defraud. You know, they want to slander. They want to smear the name to discredit you in some shape, fashion, or form. It has nothing to do with what you're preaching. It has to all do with people with accusations. It's what they hear. Nothing about witnesses. You're not supposed to receive an accusation against an elder. You know, whether people like it, believe it or not, even if you're not their elder, you still are an elder. But people, they just hear. And, oh, really? You know, they're suspicious. It's all this suspicion. But like El Rufus alluded to, people go and do their own homework. And then first thing we hear out of many people when they actually come and join themselves to the ministry and begin to fellowship with us was they've heard all these people and what they had to say. But then they had holes. It was a bag full of holes. And they would watch and say, man, something's got to give. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to go peep game on it for myself. Something that I even did. I didn't care about what I heard. I said, you know what? I'm going to go check them out. And Pastor, you said back in 2010, 2011, when I first started listening, come and check me out. And that's something that I did, that I chose to do. Me and my brother, we chose to go to Straitway for ourselves, see the manner of life, see the people, and y'all let us roam the land. Y'all let us ask all the questions we wanted to. We ate with y'all, we lived with y'all, we functioned with y'all, and ever since that time, we've been around. And of course, there's always somebody that's gonna come in and try to get the people to rise up, to ruffle the feathers, if you will. And every single time they move on, they don't go away quietly. And that's what I've seen. People don't go away quietly. What they do is they go away and they want to speak evil about what they disagree with. They had their own book of the law, which they believe is right, or they have some issues. It's kind of like, why would you want to be somewhere? Why would you want to put yourself up under something that you don't truly believe in or trust in? You know,
Elder, that's a key point issue you brought up there. When people were in Christian churches or in some of these camps, you see it even still today, they come to some of these camps. When they leave these places, they say nothing. They go on, they peaceful and quiet.
Yeah.
But what in the world is it about when they leave Straitway, some of these disgruntled people? What is it about them that would, man, I mean, they are going for the jugular over stuff that's not even the truth. It's not even, you can't even prove it, if you understand what I mean. Yeah. They have to lie in order to gain the ears of people because they can't do it in the truth. Because you know how I often say, hey, you know how I am. If you what you believe is so right, so true, let's get face to face. So why is it that they can't leave here peacefully and quietly?
It gotta be because what we're doing and what we're in is truth. I mean, we got nothing but the book to look back to. You know, they stoned prophets, right? They killed them. You know, they didn't keep them alive. They chased them. They lived in the most deplorable conditions. You know, they were always treated very with ill will. The prophets, the apostles, all of them. So all we're doing is getting the same thing. We just need to rejoice in and say hallelujah. Everything that we get coming towards us, really, at the end of the day. But there's some type of motivation that these people are hanging on to. I mean, because they put in a lot of time.
A lot of time.
A lot of time. You talking about 6-hour videos on one man. You talking about 4. I mean, do they got a job? I be asking myself because
come at the man of y'all.
That's their job. I will read. I mean, I'm at work. You know, we're trying to create business. We're trying to build communities. We're trying to set up the people. It's what we're trying to do. That's what we're busy doing. And all of a sudden I see a video or I'm hearing about a video or I'm hearing what someone said. I don't have time to listen to these 4 hours. I ain't got time to listen to these 6 hours. I ain't got time to hear what they have to say. But the people that want to shine that people give. Now, he don't hardly ask for anything. You heard somebody talk about cult behavior him showing up and with bodyguards and all this other stuff up there in the meeting in Detroit. And I had to correct the brother. Say, he didn't even ask for it. The men, the brethren, there's so much love amongst us. There's love amongst us. Really, that you don't really find anywhere else. There's a camaraderie.
Even amongst our natural family.
That's what I'm saying. But there's a camaraderie and there's a morale which we have developed and which we have built. So what we want to do. When we come here, people come with offerings, right?
Yes.
You got money?
Yes.
You know, people come with offerings. We don't come empty-handed. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, everywhere we go, people come to Georgia. People go to Straitway, Tennessee. People come here. Any event that we do, and then we're going to come together as a group. Everybody's looking to contribute. Everybody's loving their brother. Everybody's loving their sisters. Everyone's making themselves available. You know what I'm saying? So this is what we got within this group. And so because of that love, you know, we honor men. You see what I'm saying? We honor him because we feel his due. You see what I'm saying? We will honor an elder. We'll honor a brother if we feel his due. Right? And people have that jealousy. They rise up and it's like, and then you get these talks and these speeches like, well, you know, we worship y'all though. We worship y'all. We like what they're really saying is we worshiping him. You know what I mean? Yeah, we have elders meetings. We have judgments that we have to go through.
Right.
And he ain't the only one talking.
You got that right.
And they have no idea about stuff like that. They're not there. He's speaking. You see what I'm saying? I'm speaking. Elders speak. Brothers in there speaking. You know what I'm saying? And we're not all saying, okay, well, Pastor Dowell spoke, so everybody's quiet. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. If people, we're bringing forth points, you know, and even he's sitting there quiet, listening and reasoning within himself. People think that it's just a one-man show. You know, they have assumptions. They're assuming is what they're doing.
Assertions.
Yeah, they have assertions is what they're doing. They have no fact to go on because they don't have the light on the situation. But going back to what I was saying, as I had to correct this, brothers, I said I have more light on the situation. You were not there. You don't know how we develop what we develop. You don't know why we're doing what we're doing. You don't understand and see why we function or what we function. You're not there. You're not around. You're not in our meetings. You're not in our talks. But somehow, some way, we get this information out on the internet, and people who already have an inkling or they're suspicious, they latch on to it. That's all they do. They just need something to grab onto. That's it. That's all they need is something very, very small to latch on to because they're already siding on the negative end, coming towards the pastor or towards the ministry already. So they're already primed and motivated.
And I can help all of you out too. I'm a man. I'm fallible and I'm flawed. I'm sorry to disappoint y'all, man. I mean, the chances are some sins you've done, I probably already done them. But exception of the sin of sodomy.
Hell no.
Ain't no damn sodomite. I promise you that. But yeah.
Hey, I had to look at the camera for that one. Hell no.
And nor am I effeminate either.
Hell no.
What does Mike Israel say? Let them swing. Let them swing. But you know what? All these points that he's bringing up is just a flat out truth. Now I'm gonna go to another subject here, Kabir. We all know that you're a millionaire. You don't put it all out there and stuff, and all of us
can't hide it.
Yeah, you can't hide it, brother. And I'm about to go ahead and break my tradition. I finally asked him for some money.
Yep.
I sure did, man. Damn it. I finally asked him for some money. I did. I said, Kabir, we got land next to us over here. I said, I've got 60,000. If you could put 60, all right. If you skip that, make sure you bring it up.
Okay, yeah.
Make sure you bring it up, okay? But anyway, we had left off about that I had actually asked Brother Kabir for some money because we just purchased some land and we expanded the lands there at Straitway, which it actually worked out pretty good too.
Perfect.
Because man, I tell you, having all those tents up there at the top of the thing. So anyway, I actually borrowed 60,000 from him, and as that was in August, and we're in November, and as of to date, we have paid back 25,000. And I'm gonna quote the scripture again: "The wicked borroweth and payeth not again." That ain't us. Now, mind you, we in the ministry we trade money all over the place. I mean, the truth is, if I would have just asked, he probably would have just gave it to me, considering what's done happened to him in Christianity. But I know the expense. I know what it takes to keep a community running. I know what it's financially. It's pretty tough to take care of a bunch of people. But before we're gonna jump off here just for a second because Brother David, the guy's doing the recording behind here, you just had a little girl.
Yes, sir.
Born here on the community, right?
Yes, Pastor.
And you was telling us the story about the midwife, and we'll get back on point here just for a second too. And so you actually asked the midwife. She came back and did like a 7-day checkup about what is the optics out there of Straitway. I know you hear a lot. I know people are saying a lot. So please tell us what you think about Straitway Praise Land and the ministry itself, what you've experienced. You care to expound on that?
Yeah, yes, sir. So obviously, I won't disclose her name just
Right.
for privacy reasons, but we did hire a midwife for our birth with Sister Evelyn, and obviously she's an outsider coming into the community, and she's a person that had a previous relationship or friendship through her husband with Brother Kabir. So understanding the notion and the allegations of what Brother Kabir's been going through, and then the ministry that he's part of with Straitway, I just asked her because I was curious. So after her service has been done, she's coming a week after the baby's born and just doing her checkups. And I asked her, what is your assessment, I guess, of us as a people, as a group of people, and what's been your experience? And basically what she told me was that she just sees us as a people that practice what we preach. And that's, I'm quoting her directly, she said, you guys just do what you say, and you guys believe in the word in a certain way, and you follow it according to your belief. And she said that she wished that she had the same I guess opportunity, or she wished that she had that for herself in terms of having a community of sisters, seeing how Sister Evelyn has the liberty to be in purification, not having to go back to work, quote unquote, that she has to go and I just gave birth, but now I got to go in labor, how most American women do, right? They have a baby and you already see them at Walmart at 2 or 3 days after giving birth, already moving and walking around, when the Bible is very clear about a woman taking her time of purification.
That's right.
And so Sister Evelyn actually said this to her. She's like, well, no, I had the liberty to stay in my room, stay here and rest and bond with baby and take this time of purification. I won't have to worry about cleaning. I won't have to worry about cooking. And she was just, you could see it in her face. She's just like, wow, like you have the liberty. And I'm not sure too much about her situation, but I can only imagine that she doesn't have the liberty to just not work. She has to bring money to her home to help with finances. That's typical, right? In an American society, you know, two incomes is barely enough to make ends meet. But in a community environment, you can have the liberty. Our women have the liberty. They have the freedom to actually obey the Bible, to be chase keepers at home. And it's just a beautiful freedom.
Brother Victor just had a son down there, Straitway, and same thing. Sister Jordan don't have to leave the house. She can bond with baby. Her husband, as well as the sisters, they come by, they check on her, they make sure she has everything she needs. She doesn't have to get out there and hit the 9-to-5 job. Of course, we're going to address that a little bit later too, because our scriptures teach us, our Bible teaches us that a woman ought to be a chaste keeper at home. At least that's what our book says. It's kind of hard to mess up that interpretation, though, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
But anyway, we was on the money situation here for a second. Go ahead.
Can I say something? When I was in Christianity, and this is why it blows me away, because when I was in Christianity, and I was always a giver.
Right.
This didn't change. I was always a giver, but I was part of a ministry. It was a ministry, and I'm going to say names. It was called Leap of Faith, led by a guy named Pat Boyer, right? Completely abandoned me. We don't even have a relationship anymore. But I loaned him $750,000.
Man, I asked for chicken feed.
Let me take it back. Let me tell you. I gave $750,000, but half of it I donated. For just the one-day event, I donated it, but he was trying to raise more. And I said, how about this? I will loan you the other half, because I know he was trying to raise so he could just focus on what he was really trying to do. So I'll loan it, and then after the event, whatever you would get it back to me, right? And so the event happened, and he comes back to me and basically tells me, hey, now what I didn't know, that he had a check in his pocket for $250,000 that the board says you need to give it back to him. We said we're going to lend it to him that we were going to borrow, we need to pay it back. But the whole time he was saying, like, you know, we didn't really raise the money. You know, maybe 10,000. I mean, we're struggling. So now he's coming to me,
Christians,
more like, you know,
play
like
your heartstrings.
Play on my heartstrings. So what am I going to do? Like,
just say, don't worry about it.
Exactly. So I said, you know, don't worry about it. If it wasn't God's will that you didn't, you know, God's will to raise the thing, don't worry about it. And he took it as, I told him he can have it. And then I found out a year or 2 years later that we thought you got the money back, but he says that you told me he can keep it. No, I didn't know you had a check for $200 when you gave me back the money. Did I not take it?
Yes,
Thank you.
He says, this is unusual.
I took it. I said, no, Pastor, keep it.
No, you said thank you.
You said I'm just borrow and then you're gonna pay back.
That's right.
I don't have a hard time taking that back, so I can use it again.
Exactly.
Right? So he told them that I told him to keep it. But I did not know he had he literally had it. I remember that day.
So we have a lying extortioner right here.
Literally, he lied.
And extortioners, according to the book, is not going to inherit the kingdom of God.
Yes, sir.
Literally. And then he was hanging out with me for like 2 or 3 years, living on that money. And I'm thinking, like, why is he? And he's asking me for more money. And this whole time, those 3 years that we would hang out, that he would come over or I'll be at whatever, he'll be hanging out and he just spending that money. And trying to get more out of me. And it wasn't until 3 years later I found out that that's what he was getting. It wasn't that he was raising more money. He was just living off of the money he was supposed to give back to me. And he was and he had the guts to even ask me for more money. And then when you came on the scene, when you came on the scene, listen to this. When you came see, he says, "Do you give money to Straitway?" I said, "Yeah, I give them." He says, "Come here, you barely know this guy. I've known you all these years, and you can't even. I'm still trying to get money, even when I first came into this ministry."
You something still.
Just after I forgave him, I said no problem. You know, water under the bridge. We'll just keep moving on. He never really acknowledged what he did.
That devil.
You guys see what I'm saying? So, Pastor, I'm telling you,
that's Christianity.
So when I tell you, Pastor, it's off the chain in every way. I can't think of like, okay, Christian beat you in here. In every way, I know how people dealt with me. And now, mind you, did I get taken advantage? Yes. Mm-hmm. But did I do it blindly? No, I didn't do it blindly. No. Because my mind was, I'm thinking this is where God is working. Right. I don't want to miss out.
Exactly.
The same thing with, I said, I know God's working here. I don't want to miss out. Mm-hmm. I want to be a part of this stuff because I don't want to sit here. Because you know how rich folks, this is how rich folks talk. Well, everybody's trying to take advantage of me. So they end up not giving at all. And then they miss out. I'm saying I'd rather get taken advantage of and be defrauded than miss the kingdom. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So yeah, he did me wrong. I kept on moving. Said, okay, let me just keep on moving. That's going to be between you and God.
You got that right.
But Pastor, you are a man of your... I mean, literally, August, we talked about it. Mm-hmm. Gave the money. And now he's already paying back. Mm-hmm. This other ministry literally not only stole money, but then lied to me and they tried to get more out of me. After they give it, and then after the money ran out, and he had no more money, no longer we couldn't hang out. I'm too busy. I got things to do. And Pastor, you actually paid me back, and we still hang out.
Yeah.
That's off the chain.
And not only that, when we come up for feast days, we already know logistically, or whenever we visit, have like the meetings we have now, we already know the financial. We already know. You know we know. Mm-hmm. You know we know. Do we not actually put offerings in your hand?
When I got here, I got people giving me money. I mean, every say
that's it.
That's off the chain. I'm not used to this.
But Christians don't do that.
Christians do not do it.
So Christians think since you're a millionaire, you already got money, you don't need it. So we don't have to
do it. They just come in here, say nicely, maybe sweep a little bit here and leave. But they don't give me anything. They say, "Oh, you got money. Why do we need to get?" And these are people that got more money than all of you guys.
Yeah, I believe
that. And they don't give offerings.
Yeah.
Even you guys taught me even that. Even being in this culture, have taught me this is how we do it. This is how our culture. When you go in there, you bless the people that you're going to. Mm-hmm. I learned that being in this, not in Christianity. Yeah. Not in Christianity. And so, Pastor, this ministry is just and when I used to have gatherings here, right? Mm-hmm. It usually because it was a game,
right,
or some type of event. Now I know we have a debate, but really the debate is after a thought.
Yes, exactly.
We really was going to do this anyway, and the debate said, "Well, since we're here, you can have the debate right here." You guys just come out here just to fellowship, but we do this week in and week out. This is just a bigger one because people come from out of town, but we do this every Shabbat. Every Shabbat, I was never a guy that partied when I was in Christian. I probably had more parties, but really gatherings, assembly, where we have food, drinks, and everything like that since I've been in the faith. Never experienced that in Christianity. Never. And usually it's fundraisers when you had stuff like this. Yeah. Here, it's just fellowship. So anyway, I just want to let you know, Pastor, it's off the chain. So I mean, over $300,000. I gave $750, and the guy didn't give me anything back. I was trying to get more. And the Bible said, "You're faithful in the little things, and be faithful in the big things." I already know. And Pastor, you know, I already told you can ask. I didn't ask you.
That's right.
I didn't ask you. You said I said, "Okay, Pastor. I mean, whatever you want. This is what I want to do." And you said that you want. I'm just saying, hey,
that's it.
Yeah.
And then of course, Elder Mitch.
Yeah.
He's been there a while. He had an experience. All of us got testimony, but
yeah.
Elder Mitch, we'll go on this experience, then we'll keep it moving.
So, you know, going back to what I was saying earlier, coming here, people are jealous because of what he's done, even with young men. So we have been empowered down there in Houston, Texas, actually, to come together, live communal, save up some money. And I would say it was like 2016. Yes, we came together. We had a lot of money, over $100,000, but I didn't have all the money with me. And we were seeking to get closer to Straitway community, and we bought, purchased. We just needed to close on 80 some odd acres up there in Kentucky. And I was going to leave, drive all the way back down to Houston, like a 15-hour trip, and turn right back around and come back with all the money. Well, instead, Pastor said, "Hey, you don't have to do that. I will give you," it was damn near $70,000. He said, "I will give you $70,000 in your hand. You guys go close on the land." And mind you, he said, you know, he just gives so we can not come back and pay at a later date. We went, closed on the land, went all the way back down to Houston, Texas. The very next weekend, I got in a rental car, drove right back up, and put the money in his hand.
Sure did.
And so this is the type of trust that we have between one. This is the type of love that we have between one another. This is the bond. This is the sacrifice which we have created. So I just wanted to make sure I threw that in there and that concern. But like you said, we could go on and on about things that we've all experienced as far as what we do for one another.
And ain't nobody mad but the devil.
Yeah.
Because out there in these camps, out there in these little, whatever you want to call it, their little homesteads, or let's just say like the Thomas Murray tribe. Notice his tribe consists of only him and his family. You know, let's just take, you got 12 tribes in Israel, right? And remember, I just went over what happened out of Israel, how many polygamous families you had in it. But in each tribe, there was multitudes of families. There just wasn't one family having one bloodline, and then everything only comes through that one patriarch. See, that's redefining and resculpturing what the scriptures actually say. And that's the reason why these things have to be addressed, because if people get out here and bump their gums and try to present this as truth, and then the people that have unsuspecting minds are going to bite off on it as if it is true, while this man is over here he's selfishly amassing wealth, which is his business. If he wants his women to get out there and go to work while he sits at home and bang concubines and bang wives and everything else, keep making more babies, and everybody else out there are W-2 wage earners, while he can't put himself under that, but you can put your wife under the authority of another man. That's broke. That's broke as all get out. You go check the history of Israel and go all the way back to the Torah and see that any time when the Most High Yah has freed us and we give us the opportunity to be able to possess our own possessions and live on our own lands, see if any of the patriarchs or any of the tribesmen heads went out there and had their wives to go out there and work for the Babylonian system.
Didn't happen.
No, they was chase keepers at home. We went out and got the food. We went out and got to make sure that we provided food, clothing, and conjugal rights. We give them the resources so thereby they can do their job. That's what the whole reason for it was. Not to sit back and do all this mess that these people are trying to redefine scripture and then trying to make you think that unless you're a patriarch this way, then you can't be saved. That's bullshit. That's redefining what the word said. That is flat out bullshit. And it's out of order. Now, we got a woman who I used to at one time think highly of, who apparently this man is not man enough to get out there and say the stuff he need to say himself, but he got this, I can't even say skirt, because we met her, she's wearing pants.
That's right.
I mean, she's wearing pants, and I keep telling y'all, these are the type of people that what they do is when they get in front of us Hebrews, or some of you unsuspected mind people are Hebrews, They put on like they're Hebrews. They speak as if they're Hebrews. But I'm telling you, behind the scenes, that's the reason why you can't peer into their lives. There's the reason why you can't get in a car and drive to their land. The Bible says when you enter into a city, you inquire there who worthy and there abide. And before I go on, Elder, tell them about your experience with Mr. Murray.
Same thing happened that you're talking about right there in the Bible. We did that, and we had it set up to where we were supposed to come. And he in North Carolina, and then through Gina, he rescheduled. So we had to reschedule the whole plan, show up. We showed up the day we were supposed to meet with him. He told us that day, or through Gina, couldn't meet with us, right? So we like, fine, this is on 6th day. So we going to Sabbath and everything. We waiting to hear from him. We there now. Again, if we in town, we coming together as a family.
Right.
So now we got a whole house full of folk fellowshipping in North Carolina. Myself, my wife, sister Jaja, we was at her house, Mama Jaja, and then we get a call. I think it's about 1, 2 o'clock. Now we in mid fellowship, saying, "Can we meet at some coffee shop around 4, 5 o'clock?" And I'm like, I'm not finna break off with my family to come meet with you when you done already made me reschedule. Then when I rescheduled, the day I'm supposed to meet you, you can't get free to meet me now. Then you're going to call me and tell me to show up in 2 or 3 hours. I'm like, you tell them I'm good. And that's what I told Zazad. You tell her, because none of it, never once have I even spoken to this Thomas Murray guy, whoever he is.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? He might well be a ghost. And he ain't the Holy Ghost, I promise that. You see what I'm saying? Everything is run through
The one.
by his, no, I'm going to give him by his words. Public words he's put out when he got interviewed by Michael Israel. His CEO. He has publicly called her the CEO of Murray Tribe.
That's broke as hell.
He runs his family like a business. Which, do what you want to do, bro. That's fine.
Just don't
get out here and try to push that on Israel like this is biblical, because it's not. And it's commonly reported. Let's say it that way. It's commonly reported that all of his wives, however many he got, 3, whatever, they all go out and work. And he got concubines, and I heard they go work.
That's a pimp.
To me, that's a pimp.
I don't give a damn what
That's what's commonly reported.
Let's just be real, man. If we were still in the world, we would call that Mac Daddy, a damn pimp. That's what we call. He ain't doing nothing no damn different than these sorry ass Negroes out there on the damn street getting women to go pimp and prostitute for them, and then turn around and bring home the damn funds. That's real talk.
But what he does is he does that because, again, it's the same effeminate. What's the word that when you lifting the women up, putting them higher than whatever that is, woman worship, but feminization. It's the same thing that all these other men, these effeminate men, are doing. You gotta worship this woman. That's why the backlash came from Gina, not him, because when we say something publicly about what we know of Thomas Murray, it ain't attacking Thomas. He ain't in control. He ain't CEO.
Right.
You attacking the power and position that's been given to her. And I sent you a couple of screenshots. One of the screenshots on there, she's going to always promote the, I forgot how she phrased it, but pretty much the thoughts and desires of women. She's going to always promote that. And that's what he promotes. Why? Because I can put you in the position of power, have you out here hustling and bustling and running everything for me, while I keep building up my little small kingdom. But I'm not going to let nobody come in and see. You said it earlier. Everything about Straitway. You got a page. You got a page. You got a page. I got a page. Everything we do in this ministry is out there, open book for all men to read.
It's on video.
All right? It's all out there. And I was telling y'all earlier, he was asking, where is this coming from? It's the love. When people come, same thing about the woman y'all hired. The love is what get folk. It's the love. And see, these people that are envious and jealous, when they get close enough to see it, the love we have, they already know they cannot reproduce it. What did the Sadducees and the Pharisees, the scribes, all these religious folk back in the day get mad at Jesus about? It's a labor of love. How many of y'all help with deliverance? Every single one of us. Is that not a labor of love?
That's a labor of love.
And when they see that, Jesus was out loving his people. Regardless if they deserved it or not, he was still loving them. And they realized they couldn't produce it that, so hey, let's get rid of this. We can't have this out here because this makes us look bad. And that's what they're dealing with. We not. We're going to keep rolling. But that's what they're dealing with when they look at Straitway and people say, wow, man, Straitway doing this. And I'm here sitting under this. This is why all of them never want to debate, Pastor. Remember, every time, Pastor, every time you say to me, I'm going to do that, I want to tell you, Pastor, man, these boys don't want to debate you, Pastor. At the end of the day, it is exposure of their sin and their wickedness, and they don't want that. And they know that, and another thing, it ain't that all their people are going to leave and run the Straitway, because they not. Because just like that lady said, I wish my faith was at that level where I could live like that. It's not that her position. She don't even have the faith to live on that level. These people don't have the faith to live on the level that we living on in this ministry. To follow this book, they don't have that level of faith. So the exposure to what we're doing, they like, look, now we can just be distractors of this work, man. And that's what we're dealing with now. These are people that, okay, since I'm being exposed because of their righteousness, now I got to distract you from looking at their righteousness.
Looking at their righteousness.
They come and go. And that's why I tell new folk, don't worry about it. I promise you. As soon as they come, you look around 6 months later, be like, man, what was that girl name? They was talking crazy about that. They gone. So just keep doing the work.
Elder, get Titus 2:5. Titus 2:5. You know we're going to keep it real and stick it with the book now.
Really get it.
You know we're going to keep it with the book, right? Yes. When you get that, go ahead and read that too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right. To be discreet.
Hold on. I'll tell you what. Go to verse 3.
Yes, sir. Shoot, we might as well go back to 1.
Start at first verse then. Get it in context.
But speak thou the things which become sound doctrine, that the aged men be sober, grave, temperate, sound in faith, in charity, in patience. The aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husband, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husband, that the word of Yah be not blasphemed.
See, what we got here is reversal of roles. And let me say this to you, Gina Murray. You stay your tongue. You don't come over here in the arena of men. You shut your mouth, you stay your tongue, and you stay in your damn lane. You take off them damn pants, you cover your behind and wash your ass. And you put a damn head covering on that damn wig you got up there. And shut your damn mouth. See, you don't come over here. You know this is Straitway. This ain't these other damn weak ass people over here. You dealing with real men here that's living this thing. And if you don't like it, you get all stirred up, I'll get my Ishais to deal with you. And we'll just leave it at that. But Thomas Murray, it's a damn shame and a disgrace that you sit behind the damn pants of your woman and let her get out there. And you don't see my wives out there. You don't see none of his wives sit out there on Facebook, on social media, out there bumping their gum and blasting their lips and speaking amongst men. See, this is the reason why we systemically continue to keep having the troubles that we have and this so-called discord. They want to try to charge us as if we the ones are guilty of all the discord among the brethren when we're not the ones that saw the discord. I'm not he that troubleth Israel.
That's right.
Israel is already in trouble.
That's right.
And what we're doing is bringing clarity to make sure that you all can see that the damn trouble that they're putting out there, so that the smoke screen that they're putting up there and the lenses that fall, we wiping the dust and we wiping the cloud off of it, so you can see it as clear as it is day. So we ain't gonna stay on this too long because it's not worthy of the time of it. You know, at least that one is just simply not.
It's not.
But I'm telling you right now, woman, you need to shut your mouth. And then she had the nerve to call somebody a clown.
Yeah, she did.
Who the one wearing the damn makeup? Talking about a damn clown. Who the one is wearing the damn makeup? Now see, I'm telling y'all, stay your tongue, shut your mouth, and stay in your lane. And if you need to say anything to us, which you shouldn't, you talk to our wives. Now, if your husband got something to say, the way we deal, we ain't number the few states over.
That's it.
We'll come straight to you face to face.
No doubt.
That don't mean that we're gonna want to throw down or nothing. I mean, what kind of strength does that give us to damn knock out an old man? No, we're gonna just talk about this as men. And if we want to go there, straightaway we'll escalate it in a heartbeat.
We ain't got no problem.
There ain't no problem with that at all. I don't give a damn who. We don't care who it is. But what we're trying to do is show all of you out there that there's a difference between the holy and the profane. There are people out there that they are stage playing hypocrites. Yahshua said it best, and he reiterated 1,000 times over: by their fruits. you shall know them. Most of you been eating so much rotten fruit and GMOs and stuff, you don't even know a good fruit when you see it. You don't know organic fruit when you see it. And it's a sad situation. It really is. Let's go on and address another thing that's systemic out there on the internet there for a while. I'll tell you what, we'll briefly get on this and then we're going to get on your experience in communities. All right? This lying-ass Eric Gonzalez. Now, Elder Rufus and all y'all been around for a while. The allegation and accusation is that I stole this man's wife. Is that true?
No. Hell no.
Now, you married
No.
biologically, no, because he's only a sperm donor.
I got you.
He damn sure ain't no father with his punk ass.
I got you.
You follow me? When you married to my daughter, that he says is his daughter.
Yes, sir.
And if you ask her who her father is, who will she say?
You.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Now I always say this. First of all, if I am strong enough as a man to steal your wife, then you wasn't shit anyway.
That's right.
You on a damn thing anyway, then, wasn't
Right.
you?
That's true.
That's just hypothetically if that was the case. All right? That's real talk. So see, I promised the children that when they were young, I said I would not say nothing about this situation until y'all become grown and come of age. I'm not going to say nothing negative, and your mother is not going to say anything. Are you following me? Have you heard her out there making any videos now?
Nope.
But see, now, before I have you to speak on this, Elder Rufus, there's an account over in the Matitiayu that there's this man called Joseph that was a just man. And he was willing to put away Miriam privately. In other words, he wasn't going to slander her name and defame her and give her an evil name amongst Israel because he's running dirty. Now, we got true witnesses of his homosexual acts and his damn advances that he's made towards young men that actually live on Straitway.
That's right.
And we can bring them up here itself and let them testify.
Yep.
And being actually caught in the act of adultery. And actually become a damn laughing stock at the old church, Metro Life, or where he was in Florida, Miami, Florida, where he was committing adultery with some fat ass white woman down there. And that's real talk. That's real shit. All right. So this guy turns around and he's flat out lies and says that I took his wife from him when he literally abandoned his children. Elder Rufus.
That's exactly what that scrub did, and he know it. He lied to Pastor Dowell, coming talking about, I think somebody had to sell his house. But the pressure of having to do that and run his little dog kennel and keep funds coming, you know, he took advantage because he saw the love. He knew that was a safe haven for his family. But the part he wasn't telling everybody was that he was really just trying to get his family out of Florida so that he can do his mischief and have all these women that he wanted to have and be running through them women. So here, 3 months goes by. 6 months goes by, 9 months goes by, year goes by. His family is still down there.
And Nelly wants to be back there in Miami
Sister
home.
Nelly was trying to because what he was doing, remember, he was showing up on feast days. So y'all know the major feast, that's only twice a year. He's showing up. 3 times, 3 times I'm saying, but he showed up the Passover and he showed up for Tabernacles. Those 2 times when he was showing up. And he come with a little something, the little silver, a little bit. It ain't like, I mean, this whole time we've been taking care of your wife and your 3 children.
That's right.
That's 4 people got to be fed, shower, heat, clothes, all that.
He was saying an average of $50 every 3 months to him.
That's just, that booger, man. So we sit here and watched all of this, breaking the heart of his family. And Straitway took him in. And then in the end, when Nelly just couldn't take no more of it and decided, I got to get out of this situation.
You know the reason why? Because in the Christian church, they told her that she had to actually stay in that abusive relationship because there's no such thing as divorce.
Yeah.
He already done breached the contract by abandonment, by not being able to provide provisions.
Yeah.
And everything that the Torah said.
He wasn't a husband at all.
Go ahead.
He just wasn't a husband at all. And we sit there and watched all this for all this time. And then when Nelly finally said she had enough and dissolved that thing, because again, it was generated by the state, y'all. It wasn't formed together by Yah. She dissolved that thing. And then that's when the situation happened. And then the pastor said, you know what? This is a good sister. And he did the righteous thing by covering her, and not only covering her, because he followed what the Apocrypha said. He was being more of a father to those children that this man had abandoned than a husband to Sister Nelly. And you know our community, we was coming every month. We was coming once a month. So I got to see all this. I got to watch the integrity of this man, take in this man's family, and pay for everything. Provide. They came with nothing. Y'all think about it. They living down in Miami, Florida, where it don't snow, don't go below 50.
Go ahead.
Nothing. Now you coming up here to Tennessee where you literally in Kentucky. You're 7 miles from Kentucky. So what y'all think happened when that first snowfall came? If it wasn't for Pastor Dowell and Straitway, they wouldn't have had no coats, they wouldn't have had no boots, they wouldn't have had no thick socks, they wouldn't have had nothing thermal, they wouldn't have had none of that stuff. He ain't contribute a dime to that. So then to get out here and try to base Pastor Dowell and at the same time embarrass himself and his wife, telling all the old past business. I mean, she was never that, way past that. How many of y'all want y'all past before coming to the faith? Out there for everybody to hear.
Out there in the court of public opinion.
Yeah. And again, it's the same thing I was talking about
If
earlier.
it wasn't true.
It wasn't. Most of that stuff was made up, fabricated. But again, it's the same tactics that everybody uses when you cannot argue the doctrine, because you're functioning in love. You're functioning in the book. And you showing love even though this bucket don't deserve no love. So now I got to distract everybody and make up these fabricated stories that this man stole my wife, he did this, and he wouldn't let me see it. It's just a lie. Just a flat out lie.
And all these fools for all these years done bit off of it. And some of you that were possibly ordained to eternal life done cut yourself off from it. From setting about believing a lie. Go ahead, Elder.
I gotta say this because now that we're bringing this out, but I don't know any man in their right mind. Why would I want to bring my family anywhere?
Ain't no way in here.
I want mine with me. My family gonna be with me. I don't understand. I don't comprehend. And not only that, it was 3-4 months in. Whatever there. Everybody was asking men, all kind of men across the ministry wondering what they still doing here.
Yeah.
Why they still here?
All of us, all men, asking him. He has no answer. Asking him. He said he said specifically, oh, they still visit. They just visitors. It's 4 months down the line. It's 6 months down the line. What are they still doing here? Men wondering, man, why would I wanna just leave my beautiful wife, my beautiful children? Why would I want to just leave them somewhere? Why do I just want to leave? I don't understand that. How do you do that? I cannot understand that whatsoever at all. What I cannot double life. When you talk about what you want to go do, you want to go live a double life. There's a lot of things people don't understand. And you already brought it up. We got 2 brothers down living on land right now. There's so much I got from them Florida brothers down there about this man's dirt. But like he said, we wasn't saying nothing about it.
We was preserving the children until they got older. Because I told them, once you all y'all cross over that 18, 19 threshold right there, I said, I'm going in full blast at his little sorry ass.
Yeah.
You damn wicked ass nigga. He ain't even a Negro. Damn. Anyway, let me. That's why I want to choke his ass.
This thing is heated, man, because again, here it is. You talking about a beautiful family in Israel that just been raised. I mean, again, this is the stuff that people hate about this ministry. When you look at the work that Sister Nellie's doing for the ministry,
that's
I'm
right.
just talking about her job as a wife. I'm talking about the work she do in the ministry. You look at your wife, Erica, the work she doing. You look at Gabriel, and you look at Aaron, and what they doing in the
accomplished young men too.
Yeah. Bookers could build this house if you
pay
gave him enough
raises on their
time.
jobs.
Yeah. At the end of the day, that booker was a devil, and he's still a devil if he's still alive. He's a devil, is what he is.
And where are those damn women that what was that one woman, Iris? Where is her ass at? Where's the woman that so-called vouched for his son ass? Where is she at? And where's her story at?
Yeah.
She gone.
Yeah.
Gone. All the rest of them. And you know, if you really truly want to know more of the real truth about it, go look at the interview that I did. That matter of fact, the video that his wife did.
Yeah.
Because here's a guy that abandoned his family and then turned around and cursed his oldest daughter's womb.
Tried to
make sure that she wouldn't have no children at all. Just cursed the womb. Well, you see how that shit worked in. It didn't work at all, did it?
Glory.
Got 2
1 on 3.
Glory.
Suckers.
Yeah, but one thing I wanted to point out was people don't even understand his heart because y'all don't even understand. Y'all don't even know. When my oldest child was born, he came down to the house down in Houston, Texas, and he sat right next to me just like this, and even at this point in time, mind you, this is, I don't even know how many years have went by, but this is 2015, my daughter's born. He's sitting right there next to me saying to himself, man, it's sad. He can't even be. He's referring to Eric. I can't. Man, it's sad. He's not even here to see his granddaughter. That's what he said, and y'all don't even know that because y'all want to focus. Y'all want to focus on what somebody said. There's so much that's been spewed out. Y'all don't even know the heart. Y'all don't even know the heart in that. Y'all ain't even hear him tell Eric, "Hey, come get your family." It's so much that people don't know. There's so many things that nobody gets. Nobody knows. No one's been around for. It's all been accusations and bullshit just put out there. But like I said, you guys don't. There's no insight. No one sat on our meetings. No one's been around us. Nobody knows our inner workings. It is what it is.
But hey, you pick and choose what you want to believe, and that's just it. So, what do you think about hearing some of this? You probably it's the first time you heard some of this.
I mean, I've heard the story and everything, but I mean, it doesn't surprise me, Pastor, how you operate. I've been in on judgments, and I've seen people in all different levels, and to see how things are done with the word of Yah, the Torah, how things are judged, but how there's also mercy. So I've seen that. You know, I've seen some hard stuff here, you know, and it's never been like, ooh, I get to be a part of this, and like, you know, how does it doesn't matter who it is. It's always done. Judgment can be done, but it's done by the book. But it's done with love. I mean, and it's hard decisions. Hard decisions. And to see, I mean, I've only been on one where I thought it was like, okay, this was a win-win situation, right? But that was the only time, you know. But other than that, I mean, it's just, but everything's always done with love and respect. And even when all the judgment's done, everybody can still talk, and still have respect. Say, oh, well, he was part of that. I don't need to talk to him anymore. Nah, and I've just never seen any church or any of my Christian life ever seen operate like this.
And it's sad that everybody seems to think that, you know, of course I know Smite the shepherd, sheep was scattered. Everybody want to talk about it. They always do. But they don't understand the same spirit that runs down from me in this ministry, it trickles to everybody.
Yeah.
I can't, man, time would fail me to tell you all the times that Elder Rufus took him and his wives jump in a vehicle and drive 18 hours across the damn state lines and stuff just to go help Israelites out. Send his wives and wouldn't even see them for weeks and months on end just to help and assist another sister.
True.
You understand what I mean?
I believe it.
Yeah, I mean, same thing, Elder Mitch. I mean, it would, but see, people have got to paint a picture in hopes that they can bank on the carnality of your mind, that you would actually bite off on it. And then if you were ordained to eternal life to actually come into this, because tell you the truth, if you show me a ministry out there better than this today, I'll show y'all to get behind it.
Yeah.
I promise I will. I'll show you. I'll bring all the Straitway with it and get behind it. That's how serious we are about serving the Most High Yah. That's how serious we are.
You said that from the beginning.
From the very day beginning. And so now we've got everybody from every walk in life and every background looking at this, coming into this, and seeing this, experiencing this, and it's literally blessing them. It's literally blessing them. Now, do I have to actually get on here with the brother and actually answer this? No, I don't. But I actually did it because you know what it's going to do? It's going to help some of you out there who could be sitting on the fence. It is. And you're going to watch again. Here we're going to come up in Passover. You're going to watch again. There's going to be a lot of people there at Passover because that's just what the Most High Yah has us to do. And there was some other subject I wanted to touch on. You remember what the other was?
R. Kelly.
Oh, R. Kelly.
Richardson.
R. Kelly. Richardson and feminine.
Richardson.
Big
Kelly.
pink tie. Manicured
I ain't got
toenails.
on that one. I don't even know how. I don't even know one time.
Yeah, man, how do you get in on that anything? What did you do?
I think I was associated with you, man.
Show drag you in.
To get me in there.
Now, you know Michael Israel.
Well, we were at your house, remember the first conversation.
Oh, okay.
That's what it is.
That's what it was.
We were here.
You
Yeah.
remember Michael, you told me about this. Michael Israel did like a 37-minute video where he documented text messages, screenshots, how that effeminate dog is the one who started all this.
Wow.
And he talking about he got 5 smooth stones.
Yeah, right.
First of all, you got to be Israel to have some stones. You can't have no stone. You're a Philistine. And yet he out there making 2 2-hour video. I'm with Elder Mitch.
That's a lot.
If you make it a 2-hour video, then you got to edit that stuff. That sure is a lot of time, energy, and effort. Listen, Pastor Dowell is not a homosexual, so get off my job. Go do something.
Fill up the steam.
It's sad, though, isn't it?
Now that editing takes days.
It's busy work.
Oh yeah.
You know what I was doing?
Wow.
I ain't even posted video up. I got it here on my phone. When I got back in the country, you know what I was doing, right?
What?
Laying concrete.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Laying concrete
For
with
that
the brothers
pad
up
up
there.
there.
Working.
I can't show you my calluses on my hands now because
We
my
seen-
child done filed them down.
They still there. You can see it.
She done filed them things down. But Galatians 4:16 says, "Have I become your enemy because I tell you the truth?" And the whole idea is we're not trying to become people's enemy because, I mean, there's some good people coming into this ministry.
It
man.
is.
I mean, you met Brother Rob and all them, right? There's some
Yeah.
good people coming into this ministry. I think the whole gist of everything is what the book says is come out of her, my people. You read about that over in 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians 6, you read about in Revelations 18:4. Come out from among her. You got to come out from among them. And the commandment is be you separate.
Yes. Save y'all.
And then he says, and touch not the unclean thing. And then when you do that, he will receive you.
Yeah.
And he'll be a Yah to you. And you'll be his sons and daughters of him. The problem we have today is nobody want to do that. I mean, after all, we could see when we got here, we could see that no doubt you love Jesus. That's obvious.
Oh, yeah.
It's plastered all over the place. You got a baptism up here where the pool is. You got scriptures plastered all over the place. You got icons up here painted and stuff to show the different stories and stuff. And it just, you could just tell that he was an avid Christian after you was a Muslim first,
Yeah,
right?
yes,
An avid believer in the Messiah. And then he turns around and gets a vision or gets a dream from the Most High vision. And then he showed you that you didn't love him. Now you can say you love him.
I love him. I know that I love him. But I keep his
You see what I mean? Now, go back over here on Kabir for a second. Now here we are sitting up here in this man cave, where he got all his paraphernalia up here and all the success that he's had, and one of the most humble men I've ever met. One of the most humble men I've ever met, and it just perturbs me. It really gets my to sit up there and hear these painful stories of these wicked ass Christians. And so now here we are having our own private meeting, and you got the damn government and the state trying to threaten him with a fine because he's having a meeting. Which, how many meetings have you had up here at this place?
I've lost count. I mean, over 15.
But it didn't become a problem until
the last 2 years.
Until the last 2 years, Israel. You know why? Because what he's doing is exposing the wickedness of these Christians. You people got to understand something. Jesus was not a Christian. Paul was not a Christian. I know, if any man suffer as a Christian, what the hell does that mean? If any man suffer as a disciple of Christ, that's what it means. Christianity didn't even come around until the 3rd century. If they were Israel then they still Israel now.
That's right.
And the problem is see, we are ripping the cover off of Satan. Because I'm telling you right now that Christianity is the greatest tool that Satan has ever used to deceive the masses of the people. You think that they're talking about Jesus. No, they're talking about that other Jesus.
That's right.
Who Paul already told us about.
He warned us.
He warned us over and over again. And guess what many of you damn pig, swine, bucket eating people gonna do? You're gonna sit up and eat some damn turkey and some ham,
Brats.
Cranberries.
all that stuff with all the fixings. And then you're gonna turn around and put a damn tree up. Just like the pagans did of old. I told you. Ain't nothing changed. The worship remains the same. Whatever happened in antiquity of old, it's the same thing going on today. So you think because somebody get out there and sing Silent Night, Holy, that they really truly love Jesus. And then they got to fabricate a story, twist, warp the scriptures, try to even make it fit. All right, we back. And every time we get to going and getting stirred up and that truth start dropping, the devil starts messing with the line. Of course, I mean, he does that everywhere. He just puts some power in the air, though. You know what I mean? He does it. But anyway, we're going to deal with that. But let's go back a little bit because we all was at the Hebrew conference, right?
Yep.
And I thought that was a good thing that Ron Dalton and Dr. Howard was doing by putting that together. I thought the intent of it was right. And I'm not condemning it in any way, shape, fashion, or form. I enjoyed myself for the time that we were there. The one thing I didn't comprehend, especially if you was Israelite or Hebrews, I wasn't confused. It looks like a bunch of people that was just coming out of Christianity trying to do the culture and the heritage of Hebrews, but they weren't Israelite, and there was just entirely too much woman up there speaking. And of course, then people get upset when you start really truly bringing out. Don't the book talk about that women ought to keep silent in the assembly?
Yes, sir.
What is that? 1 Corinthians what? 14.
14.
Read 1 Corinthians 14 verse 33, and let's let the book do the talk.
34.
Start at verse
Yes, sir.
33.
33 and 34.
No, do 33 first, because that thing
Okay.
right there, I think it says that y'all's not all the confusion, right?
that's it.
So what we're trying to do is trying to show you that any of this confusion is coming on. Don't call us wrong because we point out the confusion, because we don't let things be as they are. There's an order to everything. And see, what people are trying to do is say, no, you're Israel over there, and you're Israel over there, and you're Israel over there. No, there's one law given to every single one of us. Is that right?
That's right.
One lawgiver. And he doesn't have a set of rules and a set of guidelines for you over here and a set of rules and guidelines for this camp over here. As a matter of fact, he even goes so far as to say that we all should be speaking the same thing. Every single one of us. So when you get this confusion coming up on us where somebody's putting forth this and another person putting forth this, and I'm not saying that we all have it all together. But there should be, as you said before, there should be somebody leading the charge, and everybody else should be actually lining up to what that charge is.
That's right.
I mean, he didn't have two Moses.
He sure didn't.
And he didn't have two Jeremiahs at that time, and two Isaiahs. And these people are upset and mad because they're so full of pride. They're not the ones that's doing the work. They're not the ones that's leading God's people to freedom and liberty out from under the bondage while we're in bondage, while we're getting ready to get out. We are at the end of this captivity, getting ready to go into the kingdom.
That's right.
So the same way that when Israel was going out of one captivity and then going into another, we're not getting ready to go into another captivity. We're getting ready to go into the kingdom where we're going to be ruling.
That's right.
So we're coming up out of here. So things have to be restored. The restoration of all things is at hand. Surely Yahweh Elohim will do nothing until he reveals his secrets to his servants, the prophets. And all we're doing is echoing exactly what the apostles and prophets have said, and we're implementing it and putting it right here in front of your face, showing you that it can't be done contrary, against wind and tide, against everyone that decides to sit there and put forth the finger and try to disparage us, try to impugn our character, lie against us, every single thing. We're showing you that this book can actually be lived. 1 Corinthians 14 verse 33, Elder Mitch.
For Yah is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all assemblies of the saints.
Come on.
Let your women keep silence in the assemblies.
Y'all hear that? Yeah, period. Women, shut up.
Yes, sir.
Gina Murray, shut your damn mouth. Shut your fat ass mouth up.
For it is not permitted unto them to speak.
You see that? Now, the bottom line is, if a woman is speaking, she's not in the assembly. So there's no need in really giving her place. Because she's not in Israel if she's speaking.
That's right.
Unlike Watchmen and them. You know, you got that damn Deborah, so-called speaking under the authority of his damn effeminate ass too.
Same thing.
No, hell no. Do I have anything personal against them? No, I don't. Nothing personal. I don't know them. But they're wrong.
That's right.
They're just flat out wrong. And they're trying to put a silhouette out there trying to make you people think that they're right, but they're flat out wrong. Come on.
But they are commanded to be under obedience.
That's a commandment. To be under obedience. As what?
As also saith the law.
Come on.
And if they will learn anything,
What?
let them ask their husband at home. For it is a shame for women to speak in the assembly.
That word shame means a disgrace. It's a dishonor and it's a disgrace for a woman to speak in the assembly. Come on.
What? Came the word of Yahweh out from you? or came it unto you only?
So all you people and you preachers, you teachers out there, allegedly self-appointed, self-anointed, mama called, daddy sent preachers and teachers. You think that Yah's only speaking to you only? You think he's only dealing with you only? You think that the word only comes to you only? The Apostle Saul said, don't you even think about that, because if that is the case, read.
If any man think himself to be a prophet,
or what?
Or spiritual.
So if you think yourself to be a mouthpiece and a spokesman for Yah, or if you think you so spiritual that you got it all, you have a monopoly on this truth, look what Saul said.
Let him acknowledge that the things that I write unto you
Is what?
are the commandments of Yah.
This is the commandments of Yah himself. It ain't nothing to do with Saul. Ain't nothing to do with Paul. He just telling you straight up, this is what Yah said. Yah says, woman, shut up. You keep your damn mouth shut, Jezebel. Period.
She doesn't get a permit.
No, you don't get no damn permit, man. You don't get nothing. That's real talk. Don't sit up there and try to tell me this is what Paul says. That's what Yahshua HaMashiach says. Shut your damn mouth. Now this is mercy right here. Because you warning always coming for destruction. So wait till you get in front of him face to face when you already been told to shut your damn mouth. And we got to speak so common like this because you can't understand intelligent talk. So we got to come down and speak common to where you can get it. And that means pissing you off.
Yeah.
But wait till he tells you, woman, didn't I tell you to shut your damn mouth? Because he's going to tell you, go to hell. Go to hell. Now, there's going to be some talk in it. Go your ass to hell. Trying to save you something that your wicked ass and feminine men won't do. Now, am I being antagonistic?
No.
No, you may not like it, man, but I'm delivering the message the way it's supposed to be.
Right.
What's wrong with that? So anyway, we had a good time at the Hebrew College. Just too many women. Kabir, you an investigative reporter. Because you checking out everything. And I don't blame you. After having that experience with Christianity, I don't blame you. Kabir, you was at that meeting up there. You was up the meeting. You saw everything. What was your own personal assessment of those who say that they're Israel and the people who are Israel?
I called you or texted you. I said, Pastor, I said, okay, when it came between you and Christianity, when I saw that, I mean, it wasn't even a joke. I mean, it was just a joke. I mean, didn't even compete. Now you're around people who say they keep the commandments, the Hebrew Israelites. And I said, Pastor, you are light years ahead. I mean, I was just blown away on that. They say it, they talk a good game, but you say it and you live it. And that's why you're the man of the year. That's why you can talk, and that's why you had the authority to speak, and they couldn't because they won't live it. Light years ahead. Isn't that what I said?
That's what you said.
You knew what I meant. I didn't even say much. I said, Pastor, light years.
You know what one of my biggest disappointments was, Elder?
I'm listening.
That so-called elders panel.
Oh my goodness.
I'm thinking, okay, good. We got some men getting ready to come inside. They're getting ready to give us help out with some wisdom here. And
Elder, talking about debt.
What's your thoughts?
This light years ahead because we actually are living it. And they got to see it. And, I have shared this with the few. The few that have actually received the spirit of truth and they're following you as you follow Christ.
That's right.
That have come along in this thing with us. And I've shared with them. It's just like, again, these people are not of Israel. Not all that say they're Israel. They're just not. And what we've learned in this ministry over 3 decades of doing this as a ministry, right? What we've learned is we don't waste time with that. That slow, when you focusing on that kind of stuff, trying to pull people in that are under, you just said it, Christianity is the strongest delusion. It's the strong delusion.
It's a drug, man.
But who sent the strong delusion?
There you go.
Y'all sent the strong delusion. I'm not gonna fight y'all.
That's right.
So me acting like I'm Mr. Witness Extraordinaire and I can lead I'm a fool coming up against y'all who done put people in a reprobate state. You know what I'm saying? Because of their wickedness and then turn from the truth. Done receive the lie, so now they're under strong delusion. I'm gonna fight that? No. I'm gonna stay focused on what he's telling me to do and keep moving forward. And we saw a lot of that even with the people coming in. They don't have the heart, they don't have the faith to walk this thing out and live it. And that's what puts you light years ahead of everybody when you're actually living it. Because now you've tied the faith with the experience.
There you go.
Now it says, and all by getting what? Getting understanding. We got an understanding of what this is going on. Paul had an understanding. Peter had an understanding. These guys had an understanding because they lived it. But the persecution comes with it. Everybody in this room is feeling a level of persecution. This ain't it ain't really nothing because it's not going to deter us.
Light afflictions.
Yeah. While we work, we'll have a brick in this hand and a gun in this hand. We're going to get it done regardless of what they say. But that Hebrew conference, it again, I commended the brothers that put it together, the four main brothers, in my opinion, that put that thing together because I saw.
All right, well, we back again. Hopefully this be the last segment right here. Satan is really fighting us. Yeah. That's okay. That's all right, though. It's going to be something to see if I actually get Hebrew Man of the Year this year, though. Yeah. That's all right, though. Elder Mitch, you was at the Hebrew conference. What's your thoughts?
My thoughts on it, I enjoyed seeing everybody that came out that was there. We got a chance to meet a lot of good people. We were able to read Ron and Michael Israel and Howard, and people like that. Even more of the guys too, like Devon Prospect. All them guys were there. It was great. It was good. I enjoyed meeting the people, but you can't see a difference. You can't see where I personally feel like, especially on the women front, they're not compared to our women and the way we're moving and the transition that our women are making versus them. I mean, honestly, they could actually walk out of that meeting and go anywhere in this world and nobody would think anything different of them. Right. There's nothing about them that you would say is Hebrew. Is what you would say. There's nothing about them that you would even say that's an Israelite. You wouldn't even think of them as a Pentecostal. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing about them that you would say, okay, holy, hang on. Let me open this door for you real quick. Anytime me and my wife travel and I see her walking in the grocery store while I'm pumping the gas or something, there's men opening the door. You don't see that. You don't get that feel. Yeah. The men will honor and respect these sisters. But anyway, overall, like I said, there's a clear difference between what's being put out and what's being produced from us versus what I see produced from other people. And of course, there may be some people that may have not been in this thing that long. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I'm kind of with you. The elders panels what got me more than anything because I believe Howard came in and said it was supposed to be a men's meeting, right? We're going to talk about being men. That's what we're going to do. And so whenever he puts his arm out and say, these are your elders, man, that's saying something. And you got 4 men up there. These are elders. So everybody shut up, be quiet, listen what these men got to say. Now, honestly, I didn't receive the wisdom that I thought I was going to get. You know what I mean? I was like, let's watch this show. And so people may be upset, they may be angry every time that he opens his mouth, but really at the end of the day, the only time that you have felt any anointing is when he spoke. Or the only time that you were impacted is when he spoke. Now, there was another older man in there, you will honor him as an older man, but that was probably the other guys, I don't understand. I don't know. So it was more of a disappointment. It was kind of like, man, this is the state we are in. There's a lot of knowledge being put out. There's not a lot of living. And that's what I saw at the Hebrew conference. I saw a lot of knowledge, but not enough living. And that's what I would say about what I saw at the Hebrew conference.
One of the biggest knocks at first it started off is they were wondering what we were doing with our security team. And everyone's like, what in the world? Do you really need all this? And then about the second day, everybody wanted them around. Yep. You know what I mean? So the whole entire opinion changed because I kept getting report after report that the people simply didn't feel safe there unless we were there. Yeah. And then somebody asked me about the security team and said, well, why do you have a security team? I said, have you ever seen what black folks do to their leaders? Yeah. You don't know history? Yeah, that's true. You don't know what they did? I mean, come on, I don't care who they use, but man, you out of your mind. We ain't stupid. I mean, even Louis Farrakhan ain't stupid nowadays and stuff like that. Man, people are crazy.
And on that point, that earlier when I was speaking about, there's a lot of stuff you don't ask for. This is another thing that Pastor Dowell that I asked for. There's a lot of brothers, the brothers, we seen it, we saw it. He said, you know what, you guys got a point. And he allowed it to go down. But it's all love. You know what I mean?
And Brother Gideon came to the ministry, a retired airborne ranger, a war veteran, Purple Heart recipient, got many confirmed kills, and we'll just leave it at that. Spent his career learning how to do security details, stuff like that, and and he turns around and passes to the men that want to know.
That knowledge.
And now we got men who are actually proficient in MMA, damn so good at guns, damn so can shoot. All right, follow me? And notice, so when you see our security team, you can believe this, they ain't playing no games. They 100% on point and for real. I mean, they are serious. They know all the details and everything, all the way down to vehicle movement, the whole 9 yards. I'm just going to leave it at that. And Brother Gideon has done a damn good job at training all the brethren too. And of course, you know, Brother Dave and Brother Jerry getting everything down on the camera, making sure all this is caught. Making sure that it's all caught. You know, it's the ministry in itself, it speaks for itself. It really truly does. Well, we've been at this for a little while. I hope we said something to stimulate thought out there, get a bunch of people thinking and stuff. But know this, whatever we're talking about here is nothing personal. You may hear us what you calling names, but people call my name all the damn time, don't they? In and out of character, in and out of thought, they do it all the time. But hey, nevertheless, it really truly ain't nothing personal. This is about the truth.
That's right.
Because the book says you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. The truth will make you free. And that's what this is all about. That's what we're all about. But we're having a wonderful time up here. Again, Straitway Praise Land, Brother Kabir. All y'all, man, thank y'all for having us up here at the community again. Oh, let me in on this. Man, do I micromanage you and tell you how to run your community?
Nope.
What about you, Elder Ruben?
Not at all.
What about you? No. If y'all need any...
Call if you need.
Sometimes we wish he would.
Call
Yeah,
But you always say, Pastor always says, call me if you need me.
That's it.
And he's always available.
That's it.
Yeah.
Call me if you
Always
need me.
Pretty
available.
much, but these men, they run these communities and they do a righteous job of it. And that's the reason why y'all busting at the seams down there in Georgia. Now you got standing room only.
Yeah.
Literally standing room only.
Time to grow.
Just literally.
And expand.
People coming from people driving from 5-6 hours away
away.
every Sabbath. Every Sabbath. And you got people that can't even drive 30 minutes to get to keep fellowship.
Yeah.
It's real.
Every Sabbath to keep Sabbath. Busting at the seams.
Coming together.
And we told you what was going to happen in Green Bay. I told you. I said, you know what's going to happen up here? Community going to be up here. They got their Finkster muscle, didn't they?
yeah.
That really got them good. Look
That's
what
why
that
the chief police is coming over.
That's the reason why. That's the reason why. Maybe he can get his little unsanctified, wicked ass heart saved too. These people something else, man. These people something else. But you know how to handle yourself. All we do is put them under common law. But anyway, hey, we appreciate y'all spending this little time here. We're sorry for the technical difficulties. That's way outside of our scope of our expertise, or I'll say Brother David's expertise. We're just here doing the do. But hey, y'all stay tuned. We hope that some way, somehow, that this particular segment has blessed each and every last one of you. We're going to be in Atlanta, be the Father's will, the 27th of November, the 28th. It's that Thursday, whatever it is.
Whatever the Thanksgiving is. Whatever Thanksgiving.
That's right. Myself, Brother
Okay,
Kabir,
things 28.
Brother Gideon, Michael Israel, the people from Straitway, we're going to be there and do some speaking there, hopefully to bring some type of education, hopefully to bring some light to some situations to help you to get free. We hope that's the truth. I mean, but after all, and if you don't become a doer of the word and you continue to keep hearing, just forget it. I mean, you can soak yourself and immerse yourself and look at all kind of videos and listen to people out there all day long, filling you up full of information. At the end of the day is, blessed are not the hearers of the word,
But the doers.
but the doers. With that, we bid y'all shalom, shalom from Straitway. Israel.
Shalom. Shalom.